Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here's what we have in the bulletin.
Jamaica declares leptospirosis outbreak. Works agency reporting steady progress in clearing roads in St. Elizabeth. And later in sports, former Canada men's national head coach among leading candidates to become interim head coach of the Reggae Boys.
Now the details. Jamaica is now experiencing a leptospirosis outbreak. Health officials have reported an increase in confirmed and suspected cases across several parishes in the last 2 weeks. The outbreak follows the passage of Hurricane Melissa just over 3 weeks ago. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton announced the development during a media briefing earlier today.
That are confirmed 28 suspected or probable cases, and these numbers are from October 30th, 2025 to November 20, 2025. The numbers reflect significantly more cases than the 2 to 21 cases observed in the preceding 34 months. There have been 6 deaths from among the suspected cases. There are no deaths from among the confirmed or probable cases at this time. 8 parishes have confirmed and or suspected cases. St. Anne, St. Mary, St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, St. Catherine, and Trelawney, with additional reported cases under investigation.
Meanwhile, Dr. Tufton says the declaration was anticipated in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. Dr. Tufton says the Ministry of Health had begun implementing precautionary measures well ahead of time.
An official declaration signals to the health system that immediate action is needed to identify cases, to contain the spread, and to prevent severe illness or death. In fact, there's a requirement once you have an outlier event in terms of the numbers to actually declare. It also unlocks resources such as surge staffing, diagnostic supplies, and emergency funding, and strengthens national surveillance so that cases can be detected, treated, and monitored more efficiently. So this early coordinated approach helps to limit the scale of the outbreak and reduces pressure on the health system. And hence why we are here today speaking to the public.
So what exactly is leptospirosis? Here's
Leptospirosis, as we informed the public during our meeting, Let's Talk Recovery series on Sunday last, is a significant public health risk following heavy rainfall, flooding, or any major disaster. The bacteria that causes this disease thrives in water contaminated by urine of infected animals, especially rats, but also cats, dogs, and livestock. Leptospirosis can affect anyone who comes into contact with contaminated water, soil, or mud. That includes farmers, persons engaged in cleanup activities, emergency responders, and others navigating flood areas.
The National Works Agency says it has been making headway across St. Elizabeth to repair roads which were significantly damaged during the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Our news center spoke with communications manager at the NWA, Stephen Shaw, who gave this update.
We are still working. We have work in the Holland Bamboo area. We are seeking to fully reopen that corridor. We have work taking place on the Whitehall to Baptist Road, which has been badly eroded. We have areas in the parish that are still flooded and impassable. We await the floodwaters to recede so that we can proceed with our assessments and repairs.
Mr. Shaw says the agency has been working on major and minor roadways at the same time to provide access to commuters.
We're here for the long haul because, again, significant damage has been done to the infrastructure in the parish, and we are committed to ensuring that the motoring public in the parish, they are able to get around, go about their business, and continue to be productive citizens of this country.
Over in Portland Cottage, Clarendon, residents were provided with hot meals recently. Some say the food was not enough and that they need more.
To what I'm saying, I'm coming here yesterday before food for my family. And when I come here, I see a lot of people go here, a lot of food. And I say, oh, I want food for my family. Then they will give me. They say, I can eat one. Well, one food can share for my family because I have my 3 grandchildren and me. So it couldn't share, one food couldn't share for 4 of us. So I want to tell Jamaica people, be loving, be kind, don't put politics, because sometimes we put politics up front. Be kind, be loving, and God will more bless you.
If I tell you the truth, when the time comes, then don't get a help. Yeah, let me tell you the truth. But I'm cutting people who need that something, and tell you the truth. Me thank you, no. If you carry the food, come. I am asking, if you can carry a little package for the old people. Some of the old people, they're not getting nothing. If you can carry a little package for the people, them.
A mother and her 17-year-old child are urgently seeking a roof over their heads. This is after they were evicted while the mother is battling a serious illness. Yannick Williams reports.
For several months, Tanya Marshall and her 17-year-old daughter have been homeless. They've been forced to spend the nights in hospital corridors, bus shelters, and any place they can find a comfort. Tanya has been battling sickle cell disease for most of her life, a condition that has made it extremely difficult for her to maintain steady employment and provide for her daughter. She explained that with the help of a kind individual, they were temporarily placed in a home located in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, but
the person had stopped paying their agreed sum of monies for the duration of 6 months. So somebody came on board and paid for the 7th month, but thereafter no payment has been forthcoming. We have not been able to come up with the money so far.
She then had to leave the premises, having nowhere to call home.
And so we left as a result of not having any electricity or any water. There wasn't any of that. So we had also to leave. Immediately after Hurricane Melissa, our stuff was put out. We were notified by a neighbor when we were staying elsewhere that our stuff was put outside.
Meanwhile, her daughter, who is also battling a hearing disorder, says her dream is to become a medical doctor. But after completing her CXC exams and excelling in all her science subjects, there were unfortunately no funds to send her back to school. Despite her illness, Tanya is willing to work to create a better life for them both.
To be blunt, I'm in need. So currently I'm looking a job. Well, one that doesn't involve me going into office or anything like that.
Now, with only 2 book bags filled with clothing, Tanya is appealing for help.
We could use a place to live, even some food supplies, clothing, whatever it is that we can get, we would appreciate it. My daughter and I, we really need your help as best as possible.
Yannick Williams, TVJ News.
A resident in Birds Hill, Clarendon, is dealing with ongoing property damage as livestock continue to enter her yard. Despite her complaints, the owner of the animals and local authorities have not fixed the problem. Aliyah Bryant reports.
From pastures to porches, a herd of livestock made an unplanned visit to Carisha's backyard in the Hummingbird housing scheme in Bird Hill, Clarendon. Having lived in the area just a little over 3 years, she's already seen this scene before.
I am at my last breath with disgust and anger. Now, I've been forced by the owners of the animals to fence my property, putting myself in financial debt.
But it seems that wasn't enough to keep the animals out.
Their animal came and destroyed my fence. The grill that is supposed to be on my veranda and at my window is presently holding up my fence because of the cows.
Welcome back to the Midday News, and before we continue, I must apologize for the technical glitch earlier. Now to Montego Bay, where Mayor of Montego Bay Richard Vernon says persons who adhere to property building codes suffered less damage to their properties in the parish. Now, speaking at a recent municipal corporation meeting, Mr. Vernon said the St. James Municipal Corporation is facing over $750 million in repairs following the passage of the system. However, he believes many persons have not been following building orders.
Of the area of planning of the development, and for us to abide by the development order. And the development order will tell you that you cannot construct homes in flood-prone areas, or you should not, in flood-prone areas, along gully embankments and those places. So the building code is at international standard, and I believe that the code is good enough to drive the development forward. However, we need to abide by the development order that tells us where we should not build.
He added that building resilient and affordable homes going forward must now be a priority.
Too much of our problems arise from unplanned development and areas that persons are using that are vulnerable. So we have to continue to monitor those and encourage them, because when you relocate persons from some sections, you're pulling them up away from their culture, their way of life, and that is something that you have to be mindful of. Therefore, we have to continue to engage these persons and look at relocation strategies and build more resilient homes for our people, resilient and affordable homes for our people, so that they can eke out a better way of life and not be in harm's way when we have events like these.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
The Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, has reported steady performance for the third quarter of 2025 despite rising costs and a challenging operating environment. However, net profit dipped to $17.8 million compared to $19.6 million the same period last year, as operating expenses and finance costs weighed on earnings. The utility company posted operating revenue of $292.2 million for the quarter, up from $274.9 million a year earlier, driven by higher electricity demand and tariff adjustments. For the 9-month period, JPS recorded revenues of $836.8 million and a net profit of $42.5 million, down from $49.7 million in 2024. Further afield, experts say the prices of certain grocery items could go down. That's after U.S. President Donald Trump removed some tariffs on Brazilian goods yesterday. They include duties on coffee and beef, as well as certain fruit, juices, and nuts. Trump says he imposed 50% duties on Brazil's goods in July to protest the trial of its former leader, Jair Bolsonaro. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Prince Moore.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the Guyanese government is moving to ease the financial strain on parents of children living with disabilities. President Irfan Ali says special tax incentives and targeted support will be introduced, noting that many parents are forced to stay home to provide care. He says the initiative is part of a wider effort to expand child care and elderly care services, including subsidized child care to low costs for families. And on the international scene, a dramatic emergency unfolded at the COP30 conference in Brazil after a fire forced the immediate evacuation of attendees. Emergency crews rushed to the venue and managed to get the blaze under control. Electrical equipment, likely a microwave, is believed to have caused the blaze. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aaliyah Bryant.
We take another break. Sports is next.